are live.
We'll do it live!
Welcome everyone to Clara and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football balls for everyone's taste. My name is Mike Fish. I am joined as always by Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you, buddy?
I am loving life. The sun is shining here in New Jersey. It's like 70 degrees.
Oh,
You know, the Giants are coming together. West Ham are crushing life
I
right
think
now.
it's all coming up roses. All
So-
coming up roses, my friend.
It's all coming up Millhouse. That's the clip I should put in
I
for
thought
next week.
Millhouse was the bad thing. Coming up Millhouse is like, isn't that bad?
I mean, he was, I guess, yeah, because Millhouse was making good in a bad situation, I guess, because he was wearing
Right,
those
like-
short trousers, but his house was flooded. So I guess, yeah, it's it's the best of a bad situation. Whereas West Ham are currently the best of a best situation.
Best of
Best.
the worst situation, maybe.
Best.
Nah, best of the better. Best of
Best
the, I don't know. We didn't get a
Let's
lot
say-
of investments. We're still working it out. We're figuring it out. We'll figure it out. Doesn't matter.
Because can you name the 4 teams that are currently in the Champions League positions?
All right, let me try. Man City.
Bing!
Man United. Would it be Leicester City
Bing!
and
And
West Ham United?
bing, 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 bing.
Hey, that's us.
Correct.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's us. That's
What?
who we talk about.
The champions. The champions. That's kind of my least favorite, like, music for like any sport, honestly.
I tell you, I swear I was listening to it on Spotify after the game yesterday. And
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, did too, because like if we're in it, I'm gonna sing it, but like I hate it a little bit.
I feel like they should put more creativity into the title though, because it's the Champions League theme by the Champions League Orchestra. I think they could have come up with some kind of cool band name.
Like,
that.
well, I just don't like when you get stuck in like the load screen, or like if you log into like watch a game. Say you were watching City, Borussia Dortmund or whatever today because you bet Borussia over one or over a half a goal. Like then all you got to do is like just like it gets old afterwards. Like, oh, 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 and it's like just like the old Halo screen. You remember that? It was like, oh, it's like just chill out, throw some words in there, maybe. I don't know, spice it up.
Are you talking about like the loading screen for like Paramount Plus / CBS All Access?
Like when you have it on Champions League, if you have a game that hasn't started in 5 minutes or whatever, or it's like starts in 5 minutes, then you're like, cool, I'll just leave it on this while I go get my drink or I eat lunch and whatever, and it's just like you get the the champions. And you're like, just all right. Like, can we throw a couple of lyrics in here? Would it be that much to ask?
Yeah, I had the game on. I was watching Liverpool lose, which is always enjoyable for me. But after the game finished, rather than like normal streaming services, when a live coverage ends, it just goes back to the menu screen. But for that, no, it's just the over and over and over and over again. It's like it's over. Get over it. Leave it.
I think we should write lyrics to it. Like that. I'll give me a couple weeks. Give me a couple weeks. I'll write some lyrics to it, and then we'll put together some sort of song with the Champions League in it. But like it'll be like lyrics by Alex. I mean, should it be a rap? Perhaps a bluegrass tune? I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could put like a funky beat behind that.
Oh no, it's gonna be the same beat. Just I want that lady behind it.
Oh, champions!
Oh, champions! Like, how long do you think the writing meeting was for that? They're like, all right, well, we got to do the Champions League. We got to have some sort of theme. Rebecca, what do you got? And she's like, obviously, Rebecca.
Champions. Good.
Yeah, she has like studied opera for the last couple of years, and she's just like, what about the champions? They're like, brilliant. Don't write that down. Write that down. She's like, I don't have to. It's literally just what the name of the thing is. But okay.
Have you got anything else? Nope. That's it. Okay. No, we're just gonna do that again. Repeat. Cool. According to Zach, who's joining us on Twitch, the The whole song has lyrics, but it's not English. You uncultured swine.
Well, if it's not
Like-
English, why do we care about it?
Yeah, it's not important.
Duh.
This is America.
Hey, buddy, who won the war?
You should be thankful, Champions League. If it weren't for us, you'd be speaking German.
Yeah, we ain't speaking German. You write all these lyrics in English, buddy.
Write that down.
Or I'll
You
stick
got it.
Cletus on you.
But other than that, big news, big news. We're gonna head into that in a second. But how was your weekend? Because obviously Wednesday to Friday doesn't really matter after our show. But like, what did you do over the
Pretty
weekend?
Oh, weekend was pretty chill. A little Easter with the fam. Became a big car guy over the weekend. Not really a big car guy. My girlfriend's car. Crankshaft, whatever it is.
Crankshaft.
That crankshaft, and I know obviously I know what the crankshaft is because we had to get that fixed. So figured that out a little bit. I mean, I didn't do it. I took it to a shop, but I learned car words. That's what I did.
Did you kick the tires and go, mm-hmm?
So clearly, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
And then when they call you and they try and upsell you, like, yeah, it look like the air filters in this place is not doing too great. We could replace those. And I was like, nah, let's not do that. I think I can replace the air filters myself. I'm not going to replace the air filters, but I just don't want to pay.
I remember I once took my car for an oil change, which should generally cost around $60, and I ended up spending $200 because they were like, "Oh, do you want us to clean around like your battery because that's looking like it's kind of being eroded?" I was like, sure, why not? And then next thing I know, well, we need to replace it. Why? Because it crumbled in my hand. Oh, okay. I guess that's a thing. If it's crumbled, I guess it needs replacing.
Right.
If it's now dust, if Thanos snaps his fingers and
I know who Thanos is. He has stones.
yeah,
Infinity
five of them.
stones. I know that. I read the book.
And because of Thanos' Infinity Stones, my 30-minute oil change ended up me sitting there for like 2 hours because they didn't have the parts and they had to call over to another shop. It was a whole thing. I hated it. I hate cars, but they help get me from A to B.
I don't like that Zach is calling me out because I put water into my engine one time. I don't like that. Excuse me for trying to be green.
Why did you do
Because
that?
I thought it was a radiator, and I don't know cars, obviously. Didn't. Now I know cars. I know what I got to crank. I know crankshafts all day.
And now you know cars run on gasoline.
I mean, if they ran on water, let's just say the world would be a little bit better place, if you know what I'm talking about. Excuse me for caring about the environment.
I think one day.
And I had to buy a new fucking engine. Look, you know what? You go big or you go home. I went home that time after going big, and
with a lot less money.
yeah, it was spent $5,000 on a new engine.
That's pretty funny, actually. That's,
It wasn't. It was. It's funny to talk about now, but why don't I go crank my shit? All right, Zach. I don't like your trash talking. Okay.
Hey, just because we're an hour later than normal doesn't mean this is like the R-rated version.
Yeah, it's not
Relax.
the late night show. All right, just because
Relax, Zach.
Tottenham is still behind West Ham, Zach
Yeah.
convinced they will not finish behind. He keeps being like, "Hey, Tottenham's gonna finish ahead of West Ham," and I was like, no way, buddy." But
'Cause I mean-
you know,
I mean, are Tottenham in the Champions League positions?
yeah, I forget. Oh wait, hold on. Man City, Man United, Leicester City, West Ham. Was Tottenham in one of those four?
I don't think they were.
That would be. If you weren't top four, you'd probably be 5th through 20th, right?
I mean,
They
you'd
don't go to
be
the
like-
Champions League, do they? That's crazy.
And I mean, it's not like they, if they're not in the Champions League, at the very least, at least they didn't play the team that's in 17th right now
Yeah, that'd be a
And-
real shame. Like,
and
was it
draw
West Brom?
2-2.
Yeah.
That'd be embarrassing. At least they didn't do that.
You know what they say? You can teach a Newcastle old tricks. That was my line from Saturday.
And did the people that you told that line to laugh
They
hysterically?
didn't get it. Not one bit. No. Hey, but you know what? Sometimes you're gonna
You gotta
swing. You're gonna
workshop
miss,
this
dude. They're not all winners. Okay, and that's what we're here for. I own it. That was not a winning bet. That wasn't a winning bet. But hey,
but are you referring to the joke or the people that were listening? Because maybe
both.
they weren't winners.
Maybe both.
But speaking
You know
of
what?
Tottenham,
I'll own that one. That wasn't my best.
before we jump into the big news, West Ham news, did you see Jose Mourinho's comments after the Tottenham Newcastle game?
No, but I'd like to hear what they were.
Basically, I'm paraphrasing because I'm not going to be able to do it justice like he does because he's a very
we're a bunch of little bitches.
No, he basically said, what do you do? My pleasure shit. Pretty much said,
that's your manager saying that's not a great look.
It's like, yeah, there was mistakes made, but what are you going to do when we've got the players that we've got? It's like, pretty much, we're shit.
There's only so many elite managers in the Premier League. Like, you have your Klopps. You got your, what's his face at City? Pep. Yeah,
Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardiolas, and then you have your David Moyes. I mean, not everybody can be a David Moyes.
But speaking of like Jurgen Klopp, I actually used to quite like him, but he's becoming a little bit of a bitch lately.
I don't know. I kind of think he's cool. He looks cool, at least.
He looks cool.
The glasses. He's like the hipster guy. I feel like I'd see him at a coffee shop if I was hanging out in Liverpool.
Oh yeah, he'd definitely order like a double choco mocha latte espresso.
He's got a MacBook ready to go. He's just typing up. He's watching film probably. But you're like, oh, that's like Jurgen Klopp right there. I know that guy.
But they lost today 3-1 to Real Madrid, and he came out basically saying the referee had some agenda against Liverpool. Oh, for God's, you lost 3-1. Relax. Like, you weren't good enough. I'm sorry.
Maybe score more goals. I don't know. Imagine not scoring 3 goals in a game, right? I don't know the feeling. Don't know the feeling. Can't relate.
Can't remember the last time that didn't happen. But before we get in big news, obviously going into the Wolves game, before we get into that, a little bit of upsetting news with Declan Rice.
God damn it.
Poor guy.
Southgate.
Apparently he got injured.
Southgate.
Apparently he got injured jogging for a throw-in or something. Apparently
that's 6 weeks though. What?
Well, conflicting reports. Apparently, I've heard 2 weeks. I've heard 6 weeks. So who knows?
What was it? 2 weeks after he put on those space boots that you saw him? Like, did you see him watching the game yesterday and whatever those fancy like electronic pants were that he was wearing?
He looked like those pant things was bought for him for Christmas by his grandmother, and he had to wear them.
Because he was at Grandma's house, yeah.
That awkward poser. Thanks, Grandma. I'm not going to refer like Mike. You look like Squidward in the episode Scaredy, but that's so specific that I'm not offended.
Send us a reference at least.
If that was a reference attempting to insult me, it didn't work because I have no idea what you're talking about. But
Squidward, he's a squid. In SpongeBob.
Okay, but he's whatever. I'm okay with that because you know what, the team that I support is in 4th position. That's all I care about. But so worst case scenario, I guess he's out for 6 weeks. Which
you kind of do look like it.
Oh, did you Google it?
I did Google it.
Okay, let me Google it.
I mean, like obviously it's a way more cartoonized version of that, but like he just means you have a beard.
Squidward. What Scaredy pants? Is that what you typed in?
Yeah, and this is called How Zach Derails an Episode. Basically, just the beard.
It's basically a guy with a beard. I mean,
No, that's a fun game though. Like when you have a beard, as a guy that also has a beard. If you're just listening to this podcast, like that's like it was. Like, oh, who are you, Abraham Lincoln? And I'm like, no, don't look like him. But they just throw out anybody that has a beard. And you're like, no, I don't look anything like that guy.
Apparently, that's what I look like. For those watching,
that's like a stoned version of you.
But for those listening,
really long nose.
It's basically Squidward, whatever.
Squidward.
From SpongeBob SquarePants with a beard, and he just looks tired. I don't look tired. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty alive. But yeah, okay. Worst case scenario. Declan Rice out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, don't love it.
But are you less hating it after watching us against Wolves?
Not with our schedule.
Well, okay. Before we get into the schedule, let's get into the meat and so obviously we played Wolves. It was very much a deja vu feeling because we, for the first 35 minutes, we were crushing it. We were like Barcelona. I'm not looking at the comments anymore, but we played, and then I even said it on Twitter. I was like, if we concede a goal right before halftime, I'm not watching the rest of the game. And we did. And I did watch the rest of the game, so I kind of lied. But how was you feeling?
I think you jinxed it. Your negative energy, because I sent you a hilarious Jesse Lingard meme. And I like to always, Mike's my sounding board. I send him my stupid West Ham memes that I send then to the West Ham Reddit that then you usually just get chewed up and spit out because they're like, this fucking American doesn't know anything. I'm like, yeah, I'm just fucking trolling. Because I think the one I sent you was Messi and Ronaldo passing the torch to Jesse Lingard. Yes. It was like, that got taken off of Reddit real quick. That just got shredded. Shut up. It was a joke, guys. I come on.
What about the Jesse Lingard?
Really good. And you were like, last time we conceded a goal. I was like, don't fucking bring that energy in there. And then what happened? They scored another goal. And then I was like, did Mike just jinx us?
I was, Jesus, like, I was very stressed. Let's just say that. But let's talk about the positive.
I just lied to myself.
Let's talk about the positives. So,
can I interrupt real fast?
Go for it.
Going back to England. As of this time last week, I believe we were 2 for 2 in man of the matches for England, right? 3 for 3 now. Just updating.
It was Lingard, Rice, and Rice.
Rice, baby.
Rice, baby.
That would actually fit perfectly on a shirt right now if you want to.
Coming soon to merch.cbpod.com.
Right. Also, just thinking out loud here.
Mm-hmm.
Lingard. And it's just God, but it's his face on it. In a cloud.
Or a picture of Jesse Lingard's face on with a glove. I am inevitable. Like an Avengers reference, just in case you don't know that.
I don't get that reference, but like, yes.
But you'll
just
take
spitball
that
on some ideas.
Yeah. Lingard, I'm writing it down. Because I always have a notepad every show.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
And I never write anything down. And then after the show, I'm like, I have no idea when I said anything.
You gotta keep notes. Keep notes.
Lingard. But yeah. Talking of Lingard, he was very much Lingard.
I think I'm in love.
I don't know what was more impressive. His goal where he ran from our own half or the goal that he set up for Bowen. Because I put it on...
It was the first one. I've watched that today. Probably close to 100 times. Like I just watched it this morning on loop, and it was just I came a little. I think I came a little watching that goal.
As sexy because
it shouldn't have happened. None of it should have happened. It shouldn't have happened 3 different times.
Because Wolves were attacking, and then Fornals gets the ball and does this cheeky little back flick to Soufal, and then Soufal puts it through. What are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking of the play. It's such a fucking great play.
I thought, did I mispronounce anything?
No.
Soufal souffle. Maybe that could be an idea.
Valid.
But Soufal puts it through to Lingard, and Lingard's like, fuck it, I'm going for it. And he just runs and runs and runs. And Antonio, the silent killer in that play, because he takes a bunch of people out by just running past them.
It's like a screen, basically. He basically ran a screen.
It was beautiful.
He made the defender pick one guy. Obviously, he's not going to leave him wide open, or he's going to get the pass.
It was the definition of a training ground play that just came to life. I bet they was like, how did we pull that off? Because they fell for everything. It was beautiful, and then that finish was fantastic. But I mean, it was the Jesse Lingard show, because then the second goal, where he set up Fornals with that ridiculous, I don't know that was, the flick from the corner spot that Was it Masuaku picked it up and chopped it
Yes.
over to Fornals. And Fornals, I think Fornals has, correct me if I'm wrong, Fornals has never scored like a thunder bastard type of goal. Every time he got, I mean, it was a great goal, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm getting at, it wasn't a just hit the ball and watch it fly back. And even as far out as he was, he placed that.
Yes.
He knew exactly.
He had to.
Like, it was beautiful. It was such a good goal.
Those two goals, I'm like, that's porn. That is like literally like porn to me today, just watching the highlights. And it was like, it would have been all been ruined if we had conceded a third goal, if we had blown that lead. But like hanging on to that, you're like, oh my God, look at that Jesse Lingard run. Look at that fucking pass. Look at that. Like just all of that all day today. That's just like, and I don't know. I feel like everybody that's told me like, hey, just get ready for the letdown for West Ham. Like I've been told that ever since I've been a West Ham fan, and I don't know if that's just part of me just be like, I'm gonna soak it up while we're number 4 right now. I'm just gonna soak it up. But like I'm positive vibes only guy right now. But like Jesse Lingard is my favorite player that's ever played for West Ham, and I've only been a West Ham fan for like 4 years. But like, holy shit, I love this guy.
So we're gonna continue on with this game, but was you there for the Payet?
I was
and a
not
half?
Payet, but apparently
Okay.
everybody on Reddit says he is better than Payet.
Oh, that could be a discussion and a half.
I don't know
I don't
Payet,
know.
so I'm siding with Lingard on that because,
I-
like, holy shit.
Before
Holy shit.
Because obviously, I mean, it's different because Lingard's only played for us 8 times, and he's already scored something. What was it, like 6 goals and 4 assists?
All of
something
them, yeah.
ridiculous. But Payet in our the one season that he was really with us, he got injured for like 3 months, and we could have finished 4th that season. And you could argue, but it's like such a hypothetical. Who knows? But if he had played with us not injured, then I think we could have easily finished 3rd or 4th that year. But that's just if Dan's or bus. Adrian Valdez, the man with the fancy shoes, says not yet Alex. I don't know what that's in reference of.
No, not yet on Lingard being better than Payet.
Oh, okay. And Payet's free kicks. If you want to watch porn, Alex, go to YouTube.
I mean, I'm down.
Go to YouTube and watch Payet's free kick against Crystal Palace and his free kick against Manchester United in the FA Cup. Holy shit. The one against Man United is beautiful because of the sound of the ball hitting the post in the net, but that'll be your homework.
Okay,
But-
here I think tie-break discussion.
Okay.
Did he have a cool goal celebration? Like, it was as cool as the JL. Like, that is... Like, it's already built in on every... It's finger pistols, but it's just like, what? You already had... Like, that's awesome.
But
What is there not to like about this guy? Do you think Man United's like, what the fuck did we get Bruno for? I mean, yes, they're ahead of
why
us
did
on
we
the table
waste money?
right now.
But they're
This
only
year they are.
What? They're only like 6 points.
Yeah, but they haven't even. We haven't even had Lingard for a full year. Just imagine next year.
And I mean, I'm going to get onto that whole discussion. But
I mean, I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
Payet's celebration was to do the best knee slide I've ever seen, and he just looked like, "Yep, I did that. What of it?" And it was cool in his own right. But yeah, it is good to see. But
JL is sick.
We're not going to go on to the past. We're all about the current right now. Jesse Lingard bossing it. And then the third goal, which again, Jesse Lingard involved in again. I loved it. I can't remember who I was watching. I think it was... I can't remember where... Anyway, they were talking about it, but they were talking about Jesse Lingard scored the first goal. He got assist on the third goal. And because of how amazing it was, they classed it as he got an assist of an assist on the second goal. Because
The hockey assist.
He didn't technically get the assist on the second goal, but for what he did, he deserves credit for that goal.
Do they have two assists in soccer?
They do not. It's only the one assist.
So it's a hockey assist.
It's a hockey assist. But that third goal, I screen captured it and I posted it on Twitter. But before he passed the ball to Bowen, it was like almost like school games, because it was like he had the ball and he was running with it, and he had like 5 Wolves players around him, and it was like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do it. And they had nothing on him. It was so amazing to watch. Like I haven't seen. I think, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen anything of that elegance almost in a West Ham shirt. And it was fantastic to watch.
He's the most fun player I've ever watched in a West Ham jersey in my time being a fan.
And shout out to Bowen as well, because that finish was... Because when they showed the angle from his... I guess that was not an easy goal to score, and he crushed it. Like... And Zach will enjoy this analogy. I saw someone posting on Twitter, was that West Ham in the first half, and it was like the Barcelona starting 11, and then West Ham in the second half, it was the Tottenham starting 11.
Yeah.
But what do you think it is? Because why do you think in the last couple of games, because consistently throughout this season, whether we won or lost, it seems like West Ham had their game plan. No matter what, if the other guys scored, I don't care. We're still going to our game plan, and we, more often than not, because of stats don't lie, more often than not, we won more games than we lost. So we hammered it out.
Good.
Pun intended. But it's just the last couple of games, it's like we just boss the first 40 minutes. And then just something happens where it's kind of like, I don't know what it is.
I mean, I think part of it is just like you get a 3-0 lead, and it just that feels like a game's over. You know, and I'm not saying it's right to give up, but I think just you're instinctually, you're just not gonna, your foot's off the gas a little bit. You kind of coast, and it's like if they don't concede those goals, both the Arsenal game and the Wolves game, right before the half, I think it's a totally different story. Those are 3-1 games probably to me. They're 3-1, 3-2 games, and like I'm fine with that. Those are 6 points right there, as opposed to the 4 that we've got out of these last 2 games. Then we're like, can you imagine if we could have just fucking got the win against Arsenal? We had the extra 2 points ahead of Chelsea. Like, we're sitting fucking pretty right now.
Hell yeah.
We're sitting pretty, and probably, I would argue, our 2 toughest remaining games this year. We have 8 games on the schedule, 9 games on the schedule.
We've got 8 games left, and yeah, the toughest ones are Chelsea, Leicester, and Everton, I would say.
But like Chelsea, Leicester are back-to-back our next 2, right?
No. I think we
play Leicester this Sunday.
We got Leicester and then Newcastle.
Okay. I don't know why I thought we played Chelsea back-to-back. But it's like, those are like our 2 toughest games for sure. Everton, also tough game. I'm not knocking Everton at all. Everton's going to be a tough one to beat. But like, you got to beat Chelsea. You got to beat Leicester City. And then we'll talk about Everton.
Because, yeah, historically, Everton has been a very tough game. I mean, we beat them 1-0 this year at Everton, which is a good... I mean, no fans, so you can't really... The whole home and away thing doesn't really matter, but...
Speaking of all that shit, like, how obnoxious was it yesterday? The NBC kept being like, well, they haven't done the double over Wolves since the 1922 to 23 season. It's like, yeah, fuckface. Because Wolves has been in the fucking championship for a lot of that time, too, you dumb cunt. Like... No shit. Like, do that shit. Can you believe these teams that haven't always played each other lately? He hasn't done the double over them. It's like, yeah, that's not our fault.
Yeah, it's like you could argue.
If we played Wolves when they were in the championship, we would have doubled them every year, probably.
But you could like take any like small team, like I don't know, Doncaster United, who are in like League 2, I think, and they could brag, oh, it's been 50 years since we lost to Man United. Yeah, because you haven't fucking played them.
When was the last time we did a double over Sheffield Wednesday?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hate that. Like, if they could say, oh, they haven't beat them in X amount of games, fine. But when it's like X amount of years, well, could you deduct the years that we weren't in? We've played them 8
times or 6 times since they've been back up.
Yeah, it's
like,
put it in perspective.
It's not that big a deal. And I get that they're just trying to find whatever stat to like pad it and make it seem like it's a big deal or whatever it is. But it's like we didn't have the opportunity to play them. That's like saying, like, man, we haven't lost to Millwall in 5 years, or whatever. It's like we haven't played Millwall.
Yeah. Who was doing the because I had it on mute.
I don't know their name.
I was working.
But I do gotta say, I kind of the 2 Robbies are growing on me.
I'm a big fan of the 2 Robbies. They're good analysts.
Two
I'm
Robbies are pretty good.
I'm
I don't
still
like
standing
Tim
by
Howard
my
as much.
Tim Howard is he's
I
not
love
great.
Tim Howard as a player. As an analyst, kind of.
I'm still not a big fan of Arlo White. I think he's got his I feel Arlo White has because I know he has like these stats on his little like board that he has. So before the game, I have all these stats.
Liverpool won last year.
Yeah, but it feels
That's number one.
no matter what, I'm gonna check all of these off, and yeah,
Fans not in the stands.
Oh, last year it almost become a running joke.
He still kind of does it.
Where like Liverpool would be 12 points ahead in the Premier League last year, and then you'd have a game of like Aston Villa versus Bournemouth, a game that had no correlation to the champions, and he somehow slide in that Liverpool were about to win. That's like, why are you talking about them again? Stop talking about them, Aldo.
And he always does the thing where they take the knee in the beginning. He's like, and they're all kneeling because there is no room for racism. It's like, well, I didn't know why they were kneeling because the signs on the side of the stadium definitely didn't say it. Their jerseys don't say it, and the knee isn't like a universal thing at this point. So thank you, Arlo, for explaining it to me.
Yeah, because one, at this point, we know why they're doing it.
No room for racism, ever.
And two, no offense. Again, Claret and Big Blue podcast is a very anti-racism podcast.
Super. I would say we're most anti-racist podcast of all time.
I mean,
along with Pass the Gravy, which is also super anti-racist.
Like, Pass the Gravy was one we kind of trade places almost week by week. It's quite impressive. But at that point, when he's saying that, it's like, who are you talking to? Because is there someone
all the racists watching the game? Well, shit, I'm out.
Who's like watching this game about to use a racist slur against the TV and be like, oh, wait, what?
Confederate flag, and he's like, well, shit, I gotta put this up.
Fuck,
come get my Nazi hat.
Apparently there's no room for racism.
There's no room for racism in soccer now.
God damn it! Like, who are you preaching to?
It is the most generic, like, and obviously, like, yes, we need to stop Asian hate. We need to stop all these hate crimes and all this stuff. But it's like, it is the most, like, drunk driving is bad. That's also a statement we could put on a patch if we wanted to. Like, you're saying the most generic, like, murder is wrong. Like, why don't we take a stand? Like, are they standing for murder? Is that what they're standing for? Because they haven't come out against murder yet.
But
that's what it's turning into. It's just you're picking the silly, like racism's not silly. I'm not saying racism is silly, but it's like just there's no room for racism.
I would love to see that in a documentary one day, where they're like a former Klansman. What made you leave the KKK? When I was watching the Premier League one day on Peacock, and Arlo White told me there was no room. There was no room for racism in the Premier League, so I had to leave. I couldn't do it.
Thought maybe I need to evaluate what my choices have been in life. But then I turned on an NFL game and it said end racism, and I was like, well, shit, they might be onto something.
I love my racism, but I love my Premier League, so I had to choose.
And if the Premier League is against racism, hell, I'm against racism too.
Come on, you irons!
I don't get it. I don't get it.
But I guess you.
That's us. That is us. Also checking our privilege. We're checking our privilege real fast. I get it. As two white straight males, we may not be the best people to speak out on racism. And I understand
a lot
that.
More whiter because of this goddamn light.
Because of that, but like I don't. I mean, just it's. I get the knee thing is like it's self-explanatory. Arlo going into a whole explanation of it. He doesn't really need to. And he's just doing his job, but that's just one. It's an easy way to like. I'm picking the low-hanging fruit.
But
moving on, though.
But maybe after the thing, someone's like, "Hey, Arlo, do you need to keep mentioning that?"
Like, we know we've done this all season.
And he does this like whole thing of like, "Hey, if just one person changes their ways, it's worth it, man." Like, cool, Arlo. All right, cool. All right.
I did. Sick.
Where's my macchiato? Bless him.
I got some bad news. I don't know if you want some bad news yet.
Let me 1 second.
I'm glad you're sitting down. Already.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure I'm sitting down, family. Okay, I'm ready for the bad news.
Officiating Sunday's game against Leicester City.
Oh, don't say Mike Dean.
It's fucking Mike Dean.
Ah! Why?
I am very upset. So Souček is probably going to get yellowed.
No, he's gonna get red.
Well, he's gonna get red for like tripping over somebody, and they're like, "How dare you lead with your face?
Oh,
How dare you try and kick a ball with your foot?" I don't want to ruin the podcast, and I apologize. It's on me, everybody. What the fuck? Why? I thought we scared him off last time. Not us, but there were people that sent hateful comments that I don't agree with.
No.
But they sent hateful comments, and I thought that he was like, I can't do these games anymore.
Or at least let me skip West Ham games.
That would be ideal.
I mean, we've mentioned him before on the podcast, but he is just... Maybe he is a good referee. Maybe he is.
Not for us.
For some reason, he just can't help himself. So it's almost like, okay, if you have Mike Dean as a referee for your game, you have to make the game as exciting as possible. Because if it's boring, he gets bored, and he's like, well, shit, I got to
be in this. I'm not on TV.
I'm going to make this fun. Who can I give a red card to? Like, I can't.
He's the WWE official, like the referee that like really gets into like the 1, 2, and he's checking on everybody. 1, 2. Oh, no, not quite. Like he doesn't get to do the 1, 2 counts where you really get to get on TV. So it's like sometimes he's just like, I gotta send Souček off. And like, what? Why? That wasn't malicious. The other guy's even saying it wasn't.
It's like the 95th minute in a 95th minute game. Why are you sending him off?
Adrian, fucking great comment.
Noble with at least a yellow, and then we'll hear Nobes call him a cunt.
To be fair, Noble should have got carded probably 3 times yesterday.
And
he's
Lingard.
Such a great like diplomat. He's like, what? And he does the hand things, and I'm like, I don't know. And his hair's all flailing, and I'm just like, he's our captain. He's got a captain armband. He can do what he wants.
Noble needs a haircut.
No, I like it. I think I like it. It's like scruffy Noble. It's older. Like I'm more experienced. Maybe I was in a band over the summer. Noble. I like that.
But what I did like is that first, Jesse Lingard was very lucky not to get sent off because he was being an idiot. Like, because he got a yellow card for wasting time during that throw-in.
When he kicked it behind him?
And then he straight away, he kicked it away. It was like, what are you doing? Because technically, he could have got a yellow card for that. And he'd have been sent off.
Was that what the hamstring stuff was?
Well, so I don't know what that was about. No, so the time wasting was where he was like...
He's supposed to play this weekend.
Can I throw? And he was like, and so the referee gave him a yellow card, and then straight away he kicks the ball away, which technically, by the letter of the law, he should have got a second yellow card for that, and he would have been banned for the next game, which has been annoying as hell. But no, I was going to bring this up because you mentioned Noble. What I loved about that, because you could see almost like, I don't want to paste everyone in Man United as the same way, but you could almost see the Man United in him coming out. Where right at the end he was like, my leg hurts, so I'm going to lay down and waste some time. And Noble went straight up to him, picked him up, and he was like, no, we don't do that. No, it was almost like, you show him the way, Mark Noble.
Is Noble like a little bit American? Where he's like, don't be a bitch, we don't pretend we're hurt.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, he's like, I love the fact that we don't do that here. Don't. If you're not injured,
and then Noble, like, say what you want about Noble. I love him. We love him on this. We're huge Noble guys. He was good for about 80 minutes of this game. There were the last 10 minutes. There were some scary plays he made where he gave up a couple opportunities that Wolves weren't able to capitalize on. But like, then there was it Lingard or Souček was down? That was one of the scariest things in the world because like all of our stars were down at a certain point in that game yesterday, and I didn't know what to like. Antonio gone, he walks right off. That was terrifying. Souček, the ankle. Okay, I'm scared a little bit. And then when Lingard's grabbing his hamstring. He's going to the ground like that. Like I was like, that looks serious. And I thought Neto, whatever his name is,
Right.
when he kicked him in the back, I was like, I don't know if he fucked it up or whatever. But then Noble, when I think it was Suchek maybe was down, and Noble's going to every single defender. He's like, let's go. Let's hold on to this. And it's like, you need that guy to kind of just like, this isn't over. It's not over. Let's fucking bear down. We're almost there. And it's like, it's the easiest thing to do. Such a simple, like, hacky movie type thing. But you need a guy sometimes to just be like, it's not fucking over, focus. And there were a lot of stoppages towards that very end of that game. And a lot of times that is easy to lose focus.
Well, that was the only reason I wasn't as worried about Noble starting this game. Because it was a like for like, Noble for Rice. That was so I knew at least. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't going to be as good and as quick and blah 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 as Rice, but at least he was in his natural position. So I wasn't as worried about Noble coming in. But okay, so Adrian again, not the first time Noble picks up a Man United player for being hurt. So this was, I think, technically in the season, because this was in a Payet season. So you might not have you seen this clip?
I've seen quite a few videos of Noble yanking other guys up. It ain't about that life.
It was against Man United in the FA Cup. It was a replay after we drew 1-1 at Old Trafford. So it was like the replay at Upton Park, and I can't remember who it was, but some Man United player was coming off. You know, they were doing a substitute, so he was doing the whole, oh, I'm injured, so I'm going to walk off slowly. And Mark Noble just walks up behind him, literally picks him up and runs him off the pitch and throws him off the pitch. It's just like, get off.
Did he get carded for it?
He didn't. I think the referee did go like, what are you doing? But I think almost the referee almost admired it. It was like, oh, I like what you're trying to do. Because he was trying to waste time. And Noble was like, not today. But whatever.
Right, you realize how much of a hypocrite you are when it comes to time wasting. When like I'm just like, Lingard's down, let him stay there. Yesterday, I was all for it yesterday.
I'm against it in that, because at that point, once it becomes 90 plus, then it becomes to the discretion of the referee. So I think if he thinks, okay, he's playing up to this, the referee is at liberty to just add on more time. So
well, that's what they did, because you saw them throw the Wolves through the inbounds in, and like every West Ham player immediately was like, "What the fuck, dude?" I was like, "We also just bullshitted 2 minutes of the 4 minutes that they just gave us." So I sort of understood it, but it's like, yes, please blow the whistle.
Because we was texting back and forth about the whole gentleman's agreement about how Wolves gave us the ball back.
I did not realize that was a thing.
So technically, under that agreement, they should have given us the ball back for that. But fair play to them, to be honest. Wolves realised, no, that was a bullshit injury. We're fucking keeping the ball because we're losing.
I did look up that So we were talking about was it Suchek went down?
Suchek went down, and then I can't remember which West Ham, but West Ham player
kicked the ball out of bounds.
Yes.
And then Wolves threw the ball right back into Fabianski. And I was like, why the fuck would you throw the ball into the opposing team's goalie with everybody back? And you were like, no, because we had an injury. And I was like, but why would you give the ball back to the other team? That's dumb, especially when you're down. And you're like, oh, that's what they do. And I looked up, I was kind of like researching it. Leeds, like 2 years ago.
That was a big controversy.
They fucked themselves out of fucking being promoted.
Technically, but it was a gentleman's...
Because somebody they scored a goal, and then they gave up a goal just basically intentionally, didn't do anything, didn't defend against it, and they ended up tying the game, didn't have enough points to move forward. They didn't get in, or they got into the playoff, but they didn't win the playoff. So they would have been top two. They would have been guaranteed up, and they didn't. And I was like, that's insane.
But yeah, I remember the manager being pissed because he was like, no, that's not... We shouldn't have scored that goal. And he was like mad, and he was like telling the players,
"You go up." So, I mean, I get it. It's a gentleman's game, but it's like also I like winning.
But I think that's but the argument would be that it's not
my fault you got hurt.
If their player wasn't injured, they would have had possession of the ball. So they voluntarily gave up because of the will, the health of another human being. So it's like, I think I agree with that one.
No,
And
I get it. It's cool. It's just like I am an asshole, and I definitely would not play by those rules. Like, thank God there's no American coaches in
you would
the
hate
EPL because that wouldn't happen.
I remember. So, have you ever seen? I don't know if you've ever gone back and watched
Unless it was
all
Ted
West Ham
Lasso.
clips. But are you familiar with the classic Di Canio clip of when he was like fair play?
No, but I do know he's Italian because at our bar, Nick's place, it's an Italian pizzeria. We have it's Dicanio. I always thought it was Dicanio, but we have
Dicanio.
a Dicanio license plate.
Oh, that's good. So one game, I think it was against Everton. So West Ham were attacking Everton, and I think one of the Everton defenders kicked the ball away, but as he did it, he went down injured. And then West Ham got the ball again, and we kept attacking. And Di Canio was like waving. He was like, "No, this guy's hurt. Like, this guy's seriously hurt. Like, stop." And I can't remember who. Someone put the ball into Di Canio, and literally he could have chested it down, and scored, but he caught the ball in his hands and was like waving to the referee. No, 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 this guy's hurt. And so technically, he should have been. I guess for that blatant handball, technically he could have been sent off, but the referee was like, "Oh, fair play. No, that was nice." And
Right.
and they let it all off, and I think he won some kind of fair play award, like as if that was a really nice thing you did, and he won it. And people say he's a fascist, but nice guy.
Is he a fascist?
Apparently, there's a photo of
What
him.
is a fascist? I don't really even know.
I don't know.
I don't want to talk
whatever.
politics. Let's not talk politics.
Yeah, let's not talk about. At the end of the day,
By the
he was
Danny
a West
Dimes.
Ham legend. He was a West Ham legend, and he was a super nice guy. And God bless him. But yeah, that before we move on to talk about the next game, and we can touch on the Giants, which are prepping for their 17-0 season this year.
We're not 17-0. We're not a 17-0 team.
Maybe, 16-1.
Probably 14-3.
Yeah. But why don't you show for those watching, and I apologize for those listening. To be fair, I should have apologized to those listening for the last 48 minutes of this show. But for those watching, why don't you show us what is that a nice new T-shirt that you have?
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Alex?
I got it from merch.cbbpod.com, the Viva La Dimes shirt. We're starting a revolution up there. Danny Dimes leading the revolution. And it's time to hop on the train. Hop on the Danny Dimes train. Viva La fucking Dimes, guys. Merch.cbbpod.com.
It's a pretty goddamn sick T-shirt.
You're going to want to get in before everybody else is in on the Danny Dimes revolution. You're going to be part of like the start of the revolution. So like hop on in.
Because people might
Bandwagon's wide open.
People might mock you now, but once the season starts and everyone's on board, you'll be
so
that
quiet.
person that's like, oh, he was on board with it months ago. Like,
And then you'll get to do the I don't want to be the I told you so guy. So I'm not going to be. But just know that I could be right now if I wanted to be. And you get to play that game. We're like, I'm being classy, but just know that if I didn't want to be classy, I wouldn't have had to be right here. Which is like basically saying the same thing but without saying it.
And also, you could be the Danny Dimes hipster guy where you're like, look at me, I was on board before everyone else was.
I was there, yeah, before he was cool.
I was before we were cool.
Remember when everybody just made fun of him for falling on that cool run that he had against the Eagles that they still scored on in that play because he cares about his team more than he cares about himself, and he wanted to hand the ball off so his teammate could get a touchdown instead of him. Yeah. Well, I believed in him still then. And then people have to just be like, yeah, he's got the shirt.
I don't get that shit. Like, if we'd have scored 0 points in that play, fair enough.
If we had,
But you
for that
scored,
drive,
like,
if we
who
had
gives a
fumbled
shit?
it, yes, bad.
But
I mean,
you
it looks
scored.
bad. It looks bad when the white, skinny, tall dude
Falls
takes
over.
off running and then eats shit on air. He tripped on grass. But still, we scored. If we don't score, it looks way worse. But, like, as a white guy that's run before, we trip sometimes.
But
He's a very relatable guy. That's what I like about Danny. I see a lot of myself in him. I do dumb shit. He did that. That was kind of dumb. But we still scored. Doesn't matter.
Got some points on the board. That's all that matters. And while you're talking about...
Oh, okay.
What did that sound?
Popping a cold one. I think I got one more left in my thing. I've done 2 podcasts today, so excuse me if I'm a little lit.
Inebriated. Well, I had to wait an extra hour for Alex, so
I do appreciate that.
Ergo, I consumed 2 more beers than I would have done. So I think we're doing well.
Yeah, it's not my worst podcast, I don't think.
Or could it be your best?
I'm just saying it's not my worst.
Yeah.
So that's a factual statement right there.
We're doing fine. Okay, so we got not much has happened on the Giants side of things.
Yeah, it has.
Well, yes, it has. So apparently the boys are getting together in Arizona.
Summer camp.
Sleepover, pillow fight.
Dude, they have campfires, I bet. They're roasting marshmallows every night. Danny Dimes is probably telling ghost stories. Yeah. Evan Ingram, though, that fuckface, he's there. So maybe he's not as much of a fuckface. No. Maybe he's not as much of a fuckface as we thought.
Although, do you think like when they're telling ghost stories, it's like, oh, there was one time that I threw a really good ball and then someone dropped it and we lost.
Tried to get it and it went to the defender's hand. No, I thought you were about to be like, Danny's like telling all the stories and he just, like, Evan just can't catch him. He doesn't get it.
Or he could tell a really obscure joke and be like, oh, looks like that went over Evan's head. Just like everything else.
Except it doesn't, because it hits him in the hands.
No, it hits him. He just can't close his hands.
Dumb thought I had earlier this morning. So we knew Daniel Jones was taking some of the boys to Arizona to do a workout camp this week. Obviously, great player. You know, Tom Brady did that like famously with Julian Edelman and all those guys. So we're probably like looking at the next Tom Brady here with Daniel Jones. I'm just pointing out facts, just saying facts.
But before you
Tom Brady did it, Daniel Jones did it.
Before you move on with your point you're making, what's great is if we now have the next Tom Brady, the great thing is he can't lose 2 Super Bowls against the Giants because he plays for the Giants.
Put that meme in. Just smart, good thinking guy right there.
Yeah.
So Daniel Jones taking some of the boys. I think Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay, and then a couple other guys. We're going CJ Board, I want to say, and then a couple of his friends from college going to Arizona to just do like a little like mini camp thing. You just play or run, like, because you can't do stuff for the team just yet, but they're all going out there, they're staying out there for a couple of weeks. And then I saw Evan Ingram headed to Arizona this morning from a Giants writer. My brain didn't think Daniel Jones has some guys in Arizona. I was like, we just fucking traded Evan Ingram to Arizona. Yes. We're gonna fucking draft Michael or fucking Kyle Pitts or whatever his fucking name is from Florida. We're gonna be so good. And I was just like I thought we got rid of Evan Ingram for a second, and I was just like, I was so excited. And that's no, he's going to join Daniel Jones. Well, good for him. Good for you just good for Evan. Maybe he'll work it out this season, and then
glad you're still here.
Way too much money by someone else.
But I mean, in the 2 years that we've been doing this podcast, we've been known for the positive vibes. So
positive vibes only.
So if Evan Ingram's gonna be a Giant next year, then I hope
he will.
I hope that whatever they're doing right now in Arizona is going to bring him together, and I hope he's going to be a better player.
Dude, I do too. I like.
I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget last season.
We didn't like Craig Dawson,
and now he's a permanent West Ham.
We love him, and we love him. Very similar. I like tying in the two teams, and it's like I fucking hate Evan Ingram right now, and we have been no strangers about that. But like, please, Evan Ingram, go out there, catch 18 touchdown passes next year. and just shut me up. And I will apologize. I will own that I fucking was horribly wrong and I judged terribly on that. And I will be hand up guy. I would love to be hand up guy. Please go catch 18 touchdown passes. Have 1,000 yards as a tight end. Block. Learn how to block. Learn how to pass block. Open some lanes up for Saquon. Do that. If you do that, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I don't care being wrong. I love being wrong.
That's what we're known for. Not being wrong, but at least being able to hold up our hands because, yes, we were very... In the 2 years that we've been doing this podcast, we was very anti-Craig Dawson, and now we're... God bless that man. God bless that man. And I mean, football Twitter is a whole another game, but where did you see when they announced that Craig Dawson, due to the clause in the contract, he's now a permanent West Ham player? And all these
solid contract clause too.
All these Watford fans were like, "Oh, we're so glad to get rid of him because enjoy the." It's like, okay, one.
Have fun in the championship, bitches.
Yeah, like, maybe he was a.
Yeah, relegated.
Maybe he didn't play well for Watford, but are you watching what's happening right now? He is a starting defender for a team that is currently in the driving seat to qualify for the Champions League. So maybe, just maybe, I'm just throwing this out here, maybe the problem wasn't the player. Maybe it was the fucking coaches in Watford. Maybe you're just a shit team. And sometimes shit teams make good players shit.
You know what would probably prove to be a shit team is a team that's mascot is a moose, but go by the Wasps. Like, what the fuck is that?
I mean,
I never got that about Watford. Like, I mean, honestly, a lot of English Premier League still confuses me. Why are the Wolves really the Wanderers, but they're Wolverhampton, so they're the Wolves? But like, why would you also have another nickname?
I will say the Wolves, like, their badge
Wolves
is pretty fucking cool.
It's sick. But like, why are they the Wolverhampton Wanderers when you look them up anywhere else? But it's like, just be the Wolves. Like, you don't need to have Wanderers as your name. Wanderers is kind of like, I think you're a drunk if you're the Wanderers. The Wanderers is a name of a drunk man.
Would it be great if, like, instead of like when it was like the Wolverhampton Wanderers, instead of having a wolf's head as their emblem, it was just like some lost guy.
It's just me in the middle of like London. Like, I don't know.
I was wondering. But
it's the questioning emoji.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck I am.
I actually would be for that.
But it could be worse. Could be the Partick Thistle.
That's true.
That's a scary. Like, what is up with his eyebrows? He needs to.
I know. And like his teeth.
We've got 3 teeth, or technically, I guess 2.5 teeth.
Like if you're watching the podcast right now,
and if you're not, why aren't you?
Go go on our Facebook page, Claire Big Blue Podcast, 5855 right now, and just like, there's no way that Sun mascot is not saying "die." Like, that is 100% what the Sun mascot is saying, right?
What? That's the thing. I don't think it's a sun. It's apparently it's a thistle. It's a flower.
It's a sun. It's a sun.
That is supposed to be a flower.
It's a sun. Or like Lisa Simpson. It actually might be Lisa Simpson's head.
Lisa Simpson when she's like 24.
Like, just it's
hungover.
A Lisa Simpson head.
Like, I drank too much. Where's my saxophone?
Pretty much.
But
we could do a whole episode on me just questioning names of teams that they've come up with, where it's like there's so many.
Next international break, we will do a whole show of Alex judging mascots.
So can I tease a little bit, even though there's nowhere near that? So Ajax, non-West Ham teams that I root for. I root for the Dynamo because I live in Houston, or AKA also I would root for any team that would sign me as their backup goalkeeper. Would love that. But Ajax, because Ajax seems like a fun team that's in the Champions League, and it's like, who hates the Netherlands? The Netherlands are a cool place, right? They have orange jerseys in international play. They're always fun. Like,
they love bikes.
It's like, dude, fuck the Netherlands. Like, I'm all for it. They seem like neutral. I'll go with the Netherlands if
bikes and weed.
Yeah, I'll go with the Netherlands if the U.S. isn't in it, unless West Ham's in it. So obviously now I'd be England right now because we have two guys on the national team. But like Ajax, fun team to watch in the Champions League. They played Tottenham, even though they ended up losing last year. And there was the drunk Tottenham fan that passed out on the bench, and he was like that. And they have the AIA as their the sponsor, and somebody just took a Sharpie and wrote Ajax with the AIA, and I thought that was hilarious. But they are the Sons of Gods is the name of their team. But I was like, their mascot looks like a wizard. So me and my friend Chris just call them the Wizards. That's all. We've only referred to Ajax as the Wizards for 2 years now.
The Amsterdam Wizards. That's a good.
We're
name.
just like, dude, Wizards looking pretty good this year. Wizards may win the title again, and he'll just send me screenshots like, "Yo, Wizards just won 6-0." And it's just funny because it's I don't know. And then I actually, ironically, this week, there was some soccer site because everything that I talk about gets recorded on my phone. And it was just the wizard or the mascot of Ajax, but with a blunt in its mouth. And I thought that was the funniest fucking thing ever. And I sent it to him. He's like, I think we just got 2 shirts. And I think he ordered them. So, honestly, I'm cool with that. But if we're not West Ham in the Champions League, we're Ajax in the Champions League, and I'm cool with that.
I'm excited.
And now we're Allaire fans in the Champions League with Ajax.
Yeah, and also shout out. I mean, I don't know, you're not gonna normally put this out, but I just want to shout. We got our first spam message on Twitter. That's how we know we've made it big.
How do you pronounce that?
Holes 1007. Want to become famous by followers? No, I don't. But thanks.
I'll obviously click that link.
But we're obviously big league now because we're getting our spam getting on. So
yep. And the next one's the porn bots.
Yeah, when I have a good time, click my bio for more.
Mm-hmm. I'm stoked about that when that happens.
So next week on Sunday fun day. Sunday. We got Leicester. So when we predicted Wolves, I guess technically you was closest. You went with 3-0, I believe.
I said 3-1. 3-1.
Did you? Are you making it up?
Nope, 3-1. It was 3-2.
I'm aware of what the score was, Alex. Thank you very much.
Well, because I also bet what I said the score would be.
Okay, I'll let you off. So, and then I predicted
as well
5-0.
as I did bet over on the goals in that hit in the first half. So just FYI, I am a savant.
So you richer? Are you richer after that game?
I actually am.
Good for you.
A little bit.
I may have missed the mark slightly by going 5-0. However, I do believe I did predict 2 of the 3 goal scorers, I think.
Yeah, I also bet Lingard to score a goal at plus 252. I everything West Ham did yesterday cashed money for me, so it was pretty solid. So I should not bet on the next game. I
bet that the odds for Lingard to score against Leicester are going to be way worse than they were against Wolves.
Absolutely, they will.
It's going to be almost a guarantee.
It'll probably be minus 110 or plus 110 max.
But so we got to look ahead into the Leicester game. I mean, Katie from the American Hammers Network, which I appeared on, which you can go ahead if you do that search on YouTube or Twitter, American Hammers Network. I was on the show last Thursday.
Watched, I would say about 80% of it at least.
And I crushed it. I was a great, probably the best guest they've ever had.
The best guest I've ever watched on that show.
My words, not theirs, but
and mine.
Our words matter more. So check that out.
Wow, that was a woman that was on that podcast. So you're saying your words matter more than hers? Wow. Walk that back, please.
Where's Arlo White? There's no room for sexism in the Premier League. But so she predicted 7-0, so she got that way wrong. But anyway, she may have been joking. But so Leicester preview. We got Adrian with who's our stats guy. It looks like Leicester has a centre back out. Yes, they do. He got the vid. I can't remember what player it was, but yes, a Leicester player has got the vid. So he's gonna be out for the game. But what are you thinking? Because it's gonna be a big game. I keep going into each game thinking, oh, this is gonna be a must win. This is must win, must win. However, I think the fact that we're in fourth and Champions League is in our own hands, we're in the driving seat, and Leicester are 4 points ahead of us. I think if we can win this game, then third almost isn't out of realm of possibilities. So this is almost a must-win game in a different aspect. What are you thinking ahead of Leicester?
Our game against Leicester earlier on in the season smells like a revenge game for Leicester. You know, like beating them when, what was it, 3-0? 4-0?
No, I think it was.
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the other Wolves game, anyway.
Yeah, where we beat Wolves 4-0, and then we beat Leicester 3-0.
Okay, so still, pretty big margin of victory. I feel like they're going to come out a little fired up. Center back being out. Definitely going to play into that. I mean, obviously, us not having Rice is going to play into that. Like, this is a game we need. This is a hungry team. I think, I don't know. I'm judging this off of pictures I see of our guys in training. I'm judging this off of things I see the guys post on social media, which, like, I'm not on the training grounds. I don't know. They're putting out what they want us to see. They're fucking happy. They seem happy. They're smiling. They're laughing. They're joking. These are guys that want to play for fucking Moist. Like I said about the Giants at the end of the season, they're a fucking team that's on a desk. Like they're on a fucking track right now, and they are in the top 4. Let's go fuck up Leicester, dude. 3-2. 3-2 or 2-2. 3-2, West Ham wins. 2-2 at worst. Leicester ties us.
I think definitely.
We score 3 goals now. That's what we do. We score 3 goals. That's the bar. West Ham scores 3 goals.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to. I think this is one of those games which I think I haven't studied exactly everyone else's run-in to the last games of the season, but I think this
we're gonna get them.
Isn't necessarily a must-win game in the grand scheme of things. But I think realistically, I think we go into this game with the same starting 11 as we did against Wolves.
But you pulled Noble out earlier. I think you got. I think you got to get Noble out of there earlier. Noble's an 80-minute guy.
I would almost argue that just because
I love him.
I think if we're going to play a back 5 with Masuaku and Sufal, and then Cresswell, Diop, and Jesus Christ, I just said his name. Dawson in the back. I think if we're playing 5 at the back, I don't think we necessarily need Noble in the starting lineup.
When do we get Augie back? Is he coming back anytime soon?
I think it's soon, but I don't.
Not this week.
I didn't
expect him back.
This game. No.
This is a fucking game that would have been perfect to have Augie in there.
But so I would probably play Fornals because Fornals is on fire because he's
hot. Moyes likes him more than Benny.
Yeah, but I would imagine it's going to be Souček maybe on his own. This is how I would do it. I'm predicting Noble's going to start, but this is how I would do it.
Noble's 100% going to start.
I would play.
Who else would be captain?
In the middle. Oh, that's true. Well,
Fabianski
probably,
or Cresswell.
Maybe, yeah. I would probably, if I had to, if Noble wasn't playing this game and Rice wasn't, I'd probably say Fabianski would probably get that armband back. But I could be wrong. But I think I would personally play Souček and then maybe Benihana in front of him, and then Lingard and Fornals and then Antonio, because I think Antonio's going to be good. Apparently he was having a scan today, but from the way he walked off, I think he'll be good. He
just left so fast. That's what scared me about it. Yeah, and I just don't trust him. He's made of glass in a lot of ways. It just seems like he's always hurt.
Well, from how he was reacting to being brought off, he looked frustrated about coming off.
He took the gloves off, and then he put them back on, and then he looked over and was upset that he had to take the gloves back off.
Yeah, so I think he waved over initially. He was like, something's up.
Well, yeah,
But
he went like that. Then he sat down immediately because
so
you saw him, he pulled up, he did that fucking move. What was the movie? Like he went on his knee, he got back up, he
yeah,
made the move, he took the shot, and it was like you saw when he took the shot, like he like reached back and then he just held his hand up immediately and went down.
yeah,
And
something's up.
but was he just doing the like, hey, yeah, I'll jog around until you guys get Bowen warmed up? Like I thought that was what he was doing.
I think if I had to guess, and again, I have no inside knowledge, but I think from the way he instantly reacted to waving to the bench, but then about a minute later when the way he was walking off, I think there was a little bit of like, oh, I think I've pulled something, but then a minute later he was like, oh, actually no, I think I was being over protective of myself, and I think I could have stayed on. Now I'm pissed off that I brought this on myself. Like, I think he was annoyed that I think he could have stayed on. So I think, but then he could have been trying to battle on. So we'll see, I guess. But I have a feeling he'll start against Leicester.
I hope. I mean, to be fair though, like I love Bowen, but like he is a god off the bench. He's totally a different player when he's coming off the bench. It's like he just brings that energy in there, and with some tired legs on a defense, like Bowen will fuck you up. Even though he's mediocre and a lot of the time. Like he's not gonna do a ton unless he's got the ball when he's gonna score. Like Bowen's not a great passer. He's got some flaws, but like coming off the bench, Bowen will fuck you up, and I love that.
Yeah, I think
he's a dog.
I think it comes down to Moyes' man management, because I think just from watching this season, I think Benihana works well when he has the confidence of, oh, I'm the starter. The manager wants me to start. Absolutely. I feel good. Go with me. And then, but Bowen, I think, works best. Maybe subconsciously, maybe he won't agree with this, obviously, but I think subconsciously Bowen works better when he's coming off the bench and he has this. I shouldn't be benched,
chip on his shoulder.
So I have something to prove when I come on. So yeah, I would start Benrahma over Bowen in this game. See how it goes, and then
pull out an onion volcano.
Yes, absolutely, and I think Noble still for a Leicester game where we need, especially where our defense is kind of like not on a great level. I think this is a game where we need to just go ham. Okay, if we're gonna probably concede 2 goals this game, then we need to make sure we're gonna score at least 3. So I think we need to go offensive, go nuts, go full offensive, try to score 4 before we start folding this week.
Right. I'm worried that like Leicester is gonna play back intentionally because they know we've been so strong lately in the first half, and it's like I'm very worried they're gonna be more defensive in the first half, and they're gonna bring on some guys to go along with Vardy in the second half that may give us some problems.
Yeah, and Adrian says he's
100%.
Bowen's speed off the bench when others. Yeah, it's exactly. Bowen is the same with almost. Bowen and Noble are perfect to be. If we say we do the same thing we always do, and we're up 3-1 at halftime, then Bowen and Noble are the perfect people to bring on around the 60th minute. So because Noble can be like, right, I've got the back half of the pitch, I've got this under control, and then Bowen can try to get a fourth. I think that'd be the perfect. So I think Noble and Bowen should start on the bench. I think Benrahma and I don't know who I'm trying to work out, but yeah, we should be going very offensive because I think that's how. Because in this part of the season, it doesn't matter how ugly the games are. We just need to win. Honestly, if we win 4-3, fuck it, we win. At least we win. Like
we're gonna make Champions League this year, or we're not. Let's fucking go for broke. Point. No, not like I mean, I know that's a very easy way to say it, but it's like we're either gonna make it or we're not. Like let's fuck them up. Like push all the fucking chips you have to the table. Let's fucking go. If this isn't your best lineup that Moyes can throw out there, we don't need to play defensive like we have the last 2 halves of the last 2 games. We need to go out there and fuck them up. Like, if it's a 4-0 game, if it's a 4-2 game, like you were saying, 4-3 game, if it's like fucking put up 10 goals, I don't fucking care. We have the offense. For the first time ever, as a West Ham fan, we have offense. Like,
Maybe
we
that's,
can score on the reg. Let's fucking score a shit ton of goals. Let's just do that. You have to beat Leicester. I know you said this wasn't a must win. I think it's a must win. You beat Leicester, you got a shot. You got a shot. If we don't beat Leicester, our goal, our opportunity to be in the Champions League, to me, I feel like we're a Europa team. If we beat Leicester, I'm all in on us being a Champions League team next year.
maybe that's what's been the issue in the last two games. Whereas like before, we were definitely of the whole fuck. We could be Champions League this year. Holy shit! And but no one expects us to do it, and we were just playing it. But now with the Arsenal game and the Wolves game, where I think maybe that little bit of oh shit, we're gonna be in Champions League, and I think there was that little bit of oh shit, that was. So I mean, if that's, I actually hope that's the case, because then if that's the case where we're starting to bottle it,
they just
but we still managed to get 4 points out of 6, I'll take that. Like,
Adrian has a good point. I'd be cool seeing Fornals in Rice's spot as well. I mean, Noble, I think is going to get the start. I don't see Moyes not putting Noble in there. But Fornals started well for them. I like Benny starting. I love Benny. I'm obviously a Benny over Fornals guy. But I would love to see Fornals in Noble's spot if Noble is not in that spot at some point.
So you're thinking technically?
No, I don't think it'll happen.
No. We know Noble's going to start next game. We know that for 100% fact. But so you're suggesting maybe technically Ben Rama in Fornals' position and Fornals in Noble's position,
right? But like I would like I think Noble's got 80 minutes in him, so like you start Noble. But it's like I wouldn't want to bring it. I wouldn't want to leave Fornals on the bench.
I respectfully disagree. Game. I don't think this is a game that Noble will start. If I was in charge, I don't think this is a game Noble starts.
But what about this entire season? Has made you has led you to believe that he won't start though?
No. If I had to bet money, Noble is 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. And I'm just thinking like realistically, like Noble's gonna start. He's the captain. He's the guy. He's been there. But we need to pull him at some point. I don't know if I feel comfortable like having Fornals on the bench the whole time. Could you swap him over then bring Benny in? I don't know about that. But I just like Adrian says, like, just go for it. If you don't go for like, we have an opportunity for Champions League football, which is funding, which is all kind of other stuff, which is signing guys in the transfer windows that maybe our owners are gonna fucking do. I don't know. Like, if we get to the Champions League, people are gonna have to sign. They're gonna have to sign some guys. Let's do that. Like, and if we fuck up going for Champions League, I'm cool with that. If we finish 7 or 8 going for Champions League, I'm cool. I would rather lose these games going all in than be like, we held back a little bit. And I don't think Moyes is going to hold back. I don't think he will.
I mean, obviously, I could look stupid at some point, but I feel at this point in the season where we are, I don't want to say the guaranteed word, but I think worst case scenario, I think we're going to qualify for Europa League.
Say the G word.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Say it.
Nope. But
I dare you.
I got it.
Put your name on it. Put your name on it.
But no, I think we're going to be in a Europa League. So yeah, I think fuck it. Let's just go for it. But I don't think Noble starting against Leicester is a fuck it, go for it mentality.
I mean, but because we don't have Rice. But to me, this is a Champions League game. This is a Champions League game.
Like, I would
a Champions League team. You beat a Champions League team. You go to the champ. Like, we do this. We got to do this. This is you got to fuck up Leicester.
But I would argue that for the next coming games, I would say that Newcastle is 100% a Noble starting game, because
I mean, yeah,
he is going to methodically organize and break them down. Whereas I think Leicester is something where we just need to score more goals than them. I think we just need to.
So maybe Fornals out there is not a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And then start Noble against Newcastle. Chelsea, who knows against Chelsea? I mean, we're gonna get.
I'm jacked up, honestly. Like, I'm just jacked up talking about this game right now.
I'm very excited to get and see it. It's at 9:05 a.m. Eastern time. I'm not hyped for that, but whatever. Perhaps we could do a watch along. I don't know. Are you gonna go to a bar?
Are you sure it's at 9:05 Eastern?
It's according to Google, April 11th, 9:05 Eastern.
Let me double check. My phone. I thought it was a 9 o'clock game. My time. No, 8:05. You're right. I'm not. I gotta double check and see if the bar's open. If the bar's open, I will definitely be at the bar to watch with the Hammers. Adrian, you should definitely be there if that is the case. If not, I am 100,000% down for a watch game because I don't know if you know this. We've never lost a game that we've done a watch.
Never. We have a 100% victory. Adrian also thought it was a 9:05 Central. Well, you're wrong.
We were wrong. ESPN app just said. I don't know. Maybe they changed it.
Okay, so for those watching live or on demand or listening on demand on Spotify or Apple Podcasts,
We'll tweet Friday.
Check
By
out
Friday. We'll tweet out whether or not we're doing a watch along.
Keep on with our socials at CBB Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If we do a watch along, we will definitely let you guys know. But I guess I am gonna predict. You said 3-2 West Ham. I am gonna go. I think this is gonna be a crazy game for some reason. I'm gonna go 4-3 West Ham.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's
I
fucking
can't not see us
send
winning.
a message. Let's send a message, dude.
Send a message to the rest of the world. I do think. I'm not gonna say the G word, but I think if we can beat Leicester,
he's guaranteeing.
Then I think that's in because I was watching someone who suggested because of the 8 games we have Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea, Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, and Southampton. He was like, West Ham have at least got 5 of those in the bag. So it's all to do with Leicester, Chelsea, and Everton. If we can get a couple of points in that,
if we get 9 points out of those games, we're 1,000% in the Champions League.
Oh my, yeah. But I'm a mathematical person because of
we're not gonna get 9 points.
West Ham is also
we'll draw against one, not Leicester. We'll draw against Chelsea.
I'm just hyped that mathematically we can't get relegated at this point.
Dude, we almost got relegated last year. We're talking about being in the Champions League this year. Suck a dick to anybody that wants to fucking hate on West Ham right now. Suck a fucking dick, dude. Like, we were at the bottom of the fucking barrel, and now we're right back at the top, and we have the same team, essentially, besides Jesse Lingard. And Benrahma and Bowen and a couple other guys. But still, like, really, we have the same bones.
Was Bowen? Bowen was last year? Was he not?
Was he?
I can't.
Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter.
But I also, last point before we sign off, is I was super annoyed where it was talking about, everyone was like hyping up Jesse Lingard, how he's like, he's a different person now he's at West Ham and blah, blah, blah. And there's a few people who would be like, oh, well, I guess he's found his level. Bitch.
Yeah, Champions League.
Champions League. It's like he's gone from a Champions League contending team to a Champions League contending team. Stop. Like, don't get me wrong. Last year, West Ham was not where we are this year, but no, we are a Champions League contending team.
We're a Champions League fucking team, and Jesse Lingard's going to play in the Champions League next year. So suck it up, Man United. You're going to have to sell him to us. You're going to sell him to us in the offseason. It's going to be great.
Oh, and
he's going to do the JL thing. Wait. He's going to do this all day. Wait.
Right in.
We're doing. There's a mirror effect on our screens, and it's throwing me off.
Right in their face, but there was some people like claiming who's some guy, I can't remember his name. He's on TalkSport Radio idiot. In the UK.
Stupid.
Normally,
Magoo? Is that his name?
Normally, I agree with pretty much everything he says, but he's like, there's no chance Jesse Lingard's going to be a permanent West Ham player because Man United are going to ask for 60 million and West Ham aren't going to pay it. And I was like, bitch, Man United, unless they're idiots, I'm not going to say the R word, which I said last week, which is a bad word. I apologize for that.
We don't say things like that.
I don't say that anymore.
Relegation's the other R word, but apparently, yeah. And we used to, in my West Ham group, we used to have a fund, and if you said the R word, relegation. You had to drop some money in that, and you had to buy people drinks.
Oh, I said a different R word last year, and I apologize. But anyway,
We
we're not
don't
going to
say
say that
that.
again. But I was like, that's just stupid because Jesse Lingard is going to be in his last year of his contract next year. There's no way anyone's going to pay 60 million.
They're
for
already
Jesse Lingard.
interested in it. They've already said they're interested in selling it
Like,
to us.
if Jesse Lingard had like 3 years left in his Man United contract, then maybe I would listen to the 60 million talk. But everyone's already seen what Jesse Lingard can do with a year sitting
I
on
would
the
pay
bench.
$60 million or 60 million pounds, whatever the fuck, yen, I don't know, bitcoins. 60 million. I would pay 60 million, whatever currency it is, for Jesse Lingard this second if I was West Ham. I don't give a shit.
But
I'm not getting into a bidding war. I would just pay it. Here, you want it? Take it.
The point I'm making
Yankees
is,
that
though,
shit.
is that I would listen to that if there was like several years left in his contract, but it's not. So everyone's seen what Jesse Lingard could do after a year on the bench. So no one in their right mind is gonna be like, well, if you want 60 million, fuck it, I'll just wait another year until his contract expires and I can have him for free. Good
He
luck
already
with that,
loves,
man.
he loves West Ham.
Yeah, if
Him
Man,
and Declan are like best friends. Have you not seen their social shit?
like all banter aside and joke aside, I think the powers that be at Man United are smart enough to know that they're not gonna get Lingard's worth. But I think West Ham want Lingard. I think Lingard wants to stay at West Ham. I think they need to come to it. I think probably like if I wouldn't be shocked if it was like 25 to 30 million that we had to pay.
I'm
for
cool.
him.
I don't give. I
But-
pay him whatever.
Yeah,
Blank
I think-
check it, dude.
If they say it's 25 to 30 million, I think realistically, I think even our owners who I'll give them stick, I'll give them bad vibes when I can, but I think even those
Positive vibes
guys
only, though.
are smart enough to be like, you want 30 million for Lingard? Okay, here's your check. Thanks very much. Because then realistically now once we've got Dawson now official, we've got Lingard. Once if he signs,
You know how
hopefully
awesome that is.
all we realistically need is like 2 good signings. Like if we need a strike, definitely need a spare striker, 100%.
Absolutely.
But realistically, other than that,
I would take another midfielder and another defenseman as some insurance as well. I think we need to build some depth. You do not have to worry about having to play 3 games a week, perhaps coming next year. We're gonna have to have those guys. I know we got the guys we can pull up. I know we got some young guys,
because
but
we got
just
young.
like let's get some good guys.
Not even totally. But I mean, at worst case scenario, we've got obviously Balbuena, who can play at the back, Ogbonna. We've got Yarmolenko who can play, and obviously, normally you think these players are going to get pissed off eventually because they're not playing. But if we are, when we're playing European football next year, suddenly we'll have the Premier League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, Champions League. They're going to suddenly get their chance to play a game. So I think they're going to, even the players who are now probably sitting there thinking, I'm pissed off because I'm not playing for West Ham, I'm not playing for first team football. Not only will they play, but they'll be like, well, let's stick this out at least another year because then I'll have on my resume. Balbuena's apparently out of contract at the end of the season, but maybe he'll go and we can replace him. I don't know. But I think those players who are on the fringe, who might be right now getting pissed off that they're not playing, I think if they're smart, they'll stick it out another year at least. Because then, okay, I'm at least going to play some cup games. But then, I played on a Champions League squad. Give me my money. Give me a good paycheck. So I think good things are only coming for West Ham. I'm excited. Everyone should be excited.
And on that note,
any last words, Mr. Middleton?
Dude, let's come on, you fucking Irons, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fuck up Leicester City. I'm stoked about this shit, dude. Like I've never been as into a soccer/football team as I am with this West Ham team. And like I love every single bit about it. I love David Moyes. I love the whole squad around David Moyes. This is a team to buy into, and I'm all in. I'm all in. Let's fucking get it. Let's fuck up Leicester City. Let's go.
Let's do this. And for those watching live on demand, listening on demand, make sure you follow us Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at CBBPod. Check out that sweet Danny Dimes t-shirt at merch.cbbpod.com. Oof, that looks good.
Yeah,
I am Mike Fish at Mr. Mike Fish. He is Alex Middleton at Alex J. Middleton. Make sure you check out our podcast, Daddy's Pass the Gravy podcast. New episode. Is it out now? It's out now.
Let's do it literally like right after you're done with this.
Holy shit! If you're listening to this after this, go listen to Pass the Gravy. There's a bunch of stuff on there. You know, Jesus and drafts and all the good stuff that you'd want to listen to.
I'm a big car guy now. No big deal.
Big car guy. Puts water
Space
in his
Jam.
gas
We
tank.
talked about Space Jam being trash.
Not my Space Jam. I should have that.
Not it.
Not.
Not at all.
But yeah, until then, we're going to come back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, live normal time. And we're going to be celebrating.
Again, I appreciate you. Appreciate you moving it back an hour, bro.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done it. But until then, we're going to celebrate a victory over Leicester next week. Join us then. But until then, see you next Tuesday. And come on, you Irons.